Hi, my audience. Another wonderful lady. So this time story is a bit different. So she connected me the way that I'm doing now because I'm in IT. I'm an IT professional, and this guest is also from IT. But what she did, her dream was bit bigger. So she picked up that IT as a stepping stone. But now she is the founder of a great organization called Womensphere and founder director of Aurora Property Australia. So let's see how that journey happened. Welcome, Priyanka Chowdhary to our show.
Thank you, Vismi. Thank you for this opportunity. Glad to be here.
Thank you, Priyanka. So I would love to share your story with my audience because you are making changes. The first thing I want to acknowledge, you are the first person gave me an opportunity to share my story about my well-being and how did I and engage myself and engage into my core to come out of the violent issues in my in my life. And telling stories is always healing, and then Women's Sphere is the platform that I shared openly first time to the audience, and I'm so grateful for that, Priyanka. But that's just a small thing that in your all big things that you're doing in your area. So I would love to check with you, Priyanka. How did you start your story of and encouraging, inspiring these women through these two different organizations? Please share with us.
Yeah, it started with a simple idea. I would say Womenspire is it's an idea. I want to connect like-minded women like us, the way we communicating right now. When I switch my career from IT to real estate, so I have no idea how the real estate world is. So I'm looking to connect with the other women in that area. It's really hard, and any other business woman in that space, how you network, how you increase your visibility in the local area. So I'm meeting amazing women, and it's really hard sometimes and also challenging while you are working and new industry. So I thought, like, why don't I create a platform? So the idea is with me for a long time.
Mm.
I want to create some space for women, something bit meaningful. That's idea came to life. So during that phase, the switching career time, so I thought, like, let me come up with this women's platform where any woman can walk in, without any expectation, and she can mingle with other like-minded women. And
Mm.
from there, it's up to you. Sky is the limit. How you want to take leverage of that, the connection, and also having these meaningful events. We did few events, one of you are part of that. Glad to have you there. We celebrated International Women's Day. We supported women's health and wellness. We come up with that program. So we want to do meaningful events, and along with that, having a opportunity to connect with other like-minded people, and doing meaningful things, and yeah, sharing the inspiration.
Thank you. Thank you for that. And I know that property is a great way of connecting people because it's their dream to have a house in Australia. And the good thing that you're doing, it's not just a business. You are connecting to the people and then helping them to come back and then share something to the community as well. And it's great to see that you are having different hats and then helping different people. So I was looking at your profile. We always follow good
Yeah.
people, and then you just celebrated your wedding anniversary. So congratulations! It's a
Thank
15
you.
years of journey together, and I
Yes.
would love to check with you. You got two beautiful girls, and then you are raising them to do to showcase your freedom to them, and then they will be learning from you. So I want to check with you. How do you describe your motherhood of those beautiful girls?
Yeah, I mean, before saying that, I've seen the both sides. I'm a daughter to my mom, so we are like a three girls at home, So that's motherhood is a beautiful journey. So I've seen being a daughter to my mom, and I have two girls at my at my home. So that 2012 April 14th, that's my first one born. So that's the life-changing moment for me. Like, you've seen the other side, but you never experienced being a mom. So that day when I see my little one, so it's like, you forget about the whole world. So you just like a happy tears and, you feel like, okay, worth living for. So
Mm.
that's it. So that's the moment for me. Yeah. But
That-
I'm looking at rising, beautiful daughters and all the fun, the fight. So it's a journey we should embrace, we should experience. So it's hard to describe in words.
yeah, it is. That's the thing because it's always beyond our expectation. All different moments are giving us great joy. But my question, like, you're doing all these different things, you're working together with your husband, and then industry is really hard because your timings are really odd, connecting with your customers. And also, how do you manage the expectations of your family? Like, family means you got cooking, cleaning, all those basic stuff. Other than that, being with them and then having that quality time. So, how do you juggle around all those things in your life?
Yeah, to start with my career change, as I mentioned earlier, so my kids are my reason. So that's the reason I switch my careers. When I'm working in IT, so it's like a 6 to 6. I'm on the, at the desk somewhere, like, leaving my girls in the childcares and the schools. I don't want to live that life. I know it's a good money,
Mm.
but for me, my family time is more important than the money. So money will come later. So that's the main reason for me to switch career. So I
Mm.
want to be something closer to them. If I get a call, I want to be approachable, like, within minutes, I can be at their school or, childcare. Yes, I am there, like, to look after my daughters. That's why I switched my career. That's why I started real estate. And now having own agency, you are boss of your own time. But saying that real estate industry is very challenging and 24/7, your clients have expectations. So they expect whenever you ring, straight away they expect an answer or an email reply or, text response. That's the industry we are in, fortunately and unfortunately at the same time. But I'm love both of them. I try to accommodate my family first and then the clients as well
Mm.
at the same time. So during the school times, they know that, like, everyone is a bit understandable, like, okay, morning. So I try to just drop the kids, try to stay away from the calls and also in the evening. So
Mm.
3 to 4, I'll definitely avoid to take any calls. So they know that you know mommy is always on the phone, but that time, like, having the good time together, I have a nice meal together, all the family, so that's very important. And I just started practicing Sunday as well, so 24/7, like, it's taking time. So the whole Sunday, it's for the family. So I want my girls to know, okay, Sunday, mommy is spending with me. So it's our day. So mommy not gonna work. It's giving us. So we enjoy long drives. It's that's where we started practicing, and definitely it is working well. And I can see joy in our daughters' faces as well. So they're picking up a place and we're trying to go there like it as a day trip. And yeah, it's enjoying. But at the end of the day, look, the balance needs to be there. It
Mm.
could be you working in a full-time job or a business, no matter what you're doing. Work-life balance needs to be addressed very seriously, and you need to make a way. It is working for me, but it may not work for you or, another woman watching. You need to find which one you can make it work, which is more suitable to your family needs or and your work life, right? So for
Yeah.
me, that times, like, the school times, I'll try to stay away from the calls. And once they are school, that's it. I'm all in for the business, right? So I'm back to back with the meetings and everything. But when they are at home, 1 hour, 2 hours, give it to them. And once they settle down, okay, hand over their homeworks and they're busy, and you come back to your calls or the meetings. So that's what I'm doing.
Okay, you're really balancing that work and life, and that's a great way. I love that Sunday 24-hour plan because you're totally giving them a pre-plan. Like, you can choose
Yeah.
the Sunday because I will be there, so there will be a bit of like you giving a real-time experience of planning days, and then engaging them with some ideas, and then taking that authority to build that Sunday as a great event for the family. So I love that idea. And then yeah, this cutoff times, like these 8 to 10 and 3 to 4, I'm not available. So if you put it up there, it is a transparent calendar, close calendars, then I think your customers will already know that, okay, I can't get Priyanka because it's school time. So I
Yeah.
think it's a courage to tell your customers, because customer is your priority, but at the same time you respect your time and their time. So then equally valid. I always believe that everyone got 24 hours, and whatever we do, it's
Yeah.
only because we prioritizing and blocking those times. So thank you for that insight of blocking Sunday. I love that idea. That's where you are making your kids happy and then your family happy, because it's always important to make sure that your family is happy and supporting what you're doing. And then I would love to mention this. You have got a wonderful husband as a backbone for everything, and then supporting that. That's a blessing for you as well. So well done being a mother and an entrepreneur. And I know that you are doing that elegantly, because, if I see you somewhere out, you are not sounding or like, showing that you are like, entrepreneur. You are being one among us, which is what I will say your specialty. You are becoming the real person in the community. And then that's where no show offs, no real I would say when you've got
It's
your
just being
dream.
us, like, we're
Yes,
trying to
just
be ourselves. That's all, like,
exactly.
we
That's where
don't
I was
need to
coming from.
sugarcoat.
So I think that's your quality, and that's why people are, getting attracted to what you're doing. And my next question is more about, all the people who are not fortunate as you, being in a family where you feel safe, you feel encouraged, you feel empowered. So the month of May is a month that we always look forward to make awareness of family violence. And then you are already doing that. And that's where I became a part of it. And we were sharing the stories from different people that day. And Amanda was there, the cow was there. She was doing all different things. And this is not your first one. Last year also, you were doing similar series. And I know that you are organizing some workshops for family, which is the idea. I like that idea, because when we do women's, yeah, we need our own
Yeah.
time, but at the same time, if you bring the family together, you can divide kids into another area, adults into another one. So you got different plans coming up. But my question is, family needs to be aware about family violence and the consequences of that. So what do you think about it? I don't want to ask like whether you support, because you're already supporting, but what do you think about that awareness? Will that make any changes? Will that reduce the victims? Like the Swati the other day in March, we lost a life in Point Cook. And if you look at the statistics, Western is also like, really prone to this one. So what's your thoughts on awareness?
Look, we can only try to avoid happening these things, right? But there's so much needs to be done, and we are growing in terms of the population, and there is a cultural imbalances in the, in the community where we can see. But I would say we need to pay attention to who we surround with. That's the step one, I would say, like, initially no one is aware of, like, what's happening. How many times we see, like, oh, this happened, I couldn't, believe that, because I just met that person last week, or like, last month, but we didn't realize that they are going through that such a pain. The only way to avoid this is just paying a little bit more attention. Like, if you see something wrong with that person, have a conversation, pick up a call, pick up a phone, just make a call, like, hey, just want to see, like, I've noticed that you're not feeling well other day, like, at an event, just want to see if you ever need, I have a shoulder for you. Always feel free to come, have a chat. Let's catch up for a coffee and see what other person is saying. Just say that word and you just keep quiet. Let them talk. Let them express their feeling, what they are going through. If they haven't shared anything, that's okay. Give them some time and watch out again. If you can't help, just maybe person like you're already doing great work, like, bringing out of these issues and having a platform, or we can connect with the right person. If you can't help, just express the same, whatever you notice, express the difference to the other person who is more capable of looking after that, situation, and they can handle little bit better. But I don't want any other woman, okay, I know that they are going through, but I can't help. I
Mm.
don't want anyone to leave the situation as it is. If you can't help, that's fine, but mention to someone who is more capable so we can save someone's life or we can save someone's marriage. We never know. It could be a life, it could be a family, it could be maybe a marriage. What is happening behind these faces, these pretty faces, we have a no clear idea until we get to know the back end story. um, there are multiple ways and there's so many amazing organizations. They're doing much bigger and better projects to assist these situations. My humble request to any other woman is, if you know someone is going through that, just connect with the right people. If you can't help, if you can, that's well and good. Pay attention is the where we should start.
Yeah, that's a well answered question, I would say, because sometimes maybe the person next to us also going through something, or
Yeah,
maybe they have a text message which we can feel something. So I really wanna, reaffirm the same thing. If you feel that someone is going through that, doesn't mean that you're poking in their personal life, but if
absolutely.
you feel like they may need some help, just being an active listener is our first
And
thing.
these
I
are all
love.
very sensitive issues, right? And people not gonna open up straight away. So we need to give the time to settle down, or to just connect to the right person.
I love the way that you mentioned ask and be silent
That's it.
because
That's it. You don't need to, as you said, like, no, we don't need to just dig deep. We're not investigators, or we are not qualified to do so. My way of doing things is just open up the conversation and let them talk. If they are open, they are expressing everything, that's fine. Like, just take a moment, observe, and then suggest them the next steps, or connect with the right professional, like, to assist them. But if you if you dig too deep, and they might back up, they might scare of that situation, what is coming through. The situation they are in, it's very vulnerable situation. We don't want any other person coming in and taking advantage of the situation in that time. Like, any woman, they're very sensitive, so they are like very fragile. So we have to be very cautious how you handle that situation. That's why I always say, attach it to the, connect to the right professional so they know how to handle this situation.
that's a very great a suggestion because again our communities some part is doing bit overdoing
Yeah,
because it will become more into like a some sort of like a narcissistic mindset and then savior syndrome. Sometimes that person may not need that at that moment because even the
absolutely.
Maram framework of family violence is clearly mentioning that if it is happening for child, you need to inform. But if it is an adult, adults need to be really like, know that I'm having a problem and I need to do something about it. So your approach is absolutely right. Legally, also, that's what they allowing us to do as a first respondent to the family violence because we are not qualified people to do the counseling, to do the casework or anything. That's
Yes.
great. So I would love to check with you. What will be your message to our audience? From, I would love to get from two sides. Like property is a big area, interest rate is eating us, but at the same time, market is booming. So what is a message for that side? How do we do a bit of like an investment? What's the tips? And at the same time, how do I keep our motherhood, our life in peace? Or a bit more question to add into it: is it safe to invest in properties now? So those are my questions. So I think my listeners also thinking those type of questions from a women entrepreneur, because almost as you mentioned, in this area, the prominent people are always men. But from a mother's heart, what's your thoughts and suggestions for us?
Absolutely. See, when it comes to any property decision, we are the one who is making decisions. So I've seen a lot of times, people walking, the whole family walking into the property. But I knew, when it comes to a kitchen, a woman can tell when it is a okay, more practical kitchen, or it just looks very fancy, but it's not practical, right? So when it comes to these decisions, women are the one who is taking in charge, even though it's not visible in the front, but they are the one key decision maker. And but I feel sorry sometimes, and obviously they're not educated towards the numbers when it comes to investing. If you bring a woman to the property, they can straight away tell you, okay, I love this property or I hate this property. No questions asked. And there's so many reasons. They can come up with thousands of reasons, why they love, why they hate. But when it comes to the numbers, in terms, as you're asking, about the investment. So a lot of women, I'm not saying every woman, but many of them are not aware of that, what is the right investment, in terms of how much you keeping it as an investment property and what sort of benefits you're getting. There is a gray area in that. There's a bit lot of needs to be done. So that's why we're paying a bit more, programs we are planning to do, educate women around the property and the investments and understanding, especially first home buyers. We try to spend a bit more time with them, they have no idea how much deposit they need and what is the process to go forward, and what sort of grants are there. So we did few seminars in the past as well, where we just discussing about the government available funds for the first home buyers. So that's become a very huge success. A lot of people are approaching, okay, when is your next workshop or seminar happening? So that's why we're planning to do these more educational seminars and workshops. So women are welcome, to attend these seminars. And try, my suggestion is, try to educate yourself. it, if you have an interest, definitely, spend 15 minutes or half an hour of your time. Just try to learn what is the market doing, what is the area where you are in. Just if you spend a bit more time, you will gain more knowledge. You don't need to rely on someone else's opinion, even on me as well. As a professional, I will suggest you all the tips and tricks, where to invest, what is the best price point. But if you are well informed, if you know little bit of knowledge, okay, Priya said this one, but I can agree, I can disagree. Only you can think of that if you have a little bit of a background knowledge. If you don't have, you might straightly follow my suggestion or some of other agents for suggestion, or you might lose your hard-earned money as well. My humble request is, just educate yourself. Don't rely on me, rely on someone. You are in charge of your your life. Whether it could, when it comes to investment, it's a simple, it's a very same. You don't need to rely. You get the advice, but you validate with your knowledge and also what they say. So that's towards property, my suggestion. That's what I did. From IT to real estate, how I am doing, I'm educating. Every day I'm educating myself, and I'm following the trends, what's happening in the local area, what's happening somewhere else. So it's just try to educate and yeah, analyze and then suggest on the booming locations and what you're getting, what you're gaining, what you're losing. So that's towards property. And when it comes to motherhood, it's very precious. I'm not gonna give a whole lot of explanation. It's very precious. Keep it to yourself and enjoy, embrace every single moment. And I really love my my fun fights with my daughters, long drives, the singings. These are all looks very tiny things, but when you think back, when you close your eyes and when you look back, you have a big smile on your face. is. That's what the motherhood is. It could be, happy tears or laugh, or, sometimes you may cry. Like, that's the, you blessed with those, memorable moments.
Mm.
Um, every day is precious. Enjoy. You don't know what's around the corner. So you know that I'm a big believer in celebration. For me, every day is a celebration. You
Yeah.
just inspire your kids, whatever you're doing, and educate them, support them, and yeah, celebrate with them. That's my four principles with Womenspire as well. We'll keep it simple, and those are the four principles I live by, and it's applicable to every single day which I'm living.
That's awesome, Priya, because it's not like, you're doing something else for your organization, but you're leaving what you believe and then sharing that with the people around you. So I love that celebration bit because everyone wants to, dress up and celebrate, and then you are providing a platform, and how elegantly you are doing that. So it's really amazing. And then I love the way that you mentioned the fun fights with your girls, because
Um,
sometimes you feel really anxious if you have fights, but if it is a fun fights and that smile and then drive. So I'm picking up those as a mother. I should be doing that with my boys a lot, because we usually, with the similar pattern, I will be asking them, find out a location, we'll go for a
Mhm.
drive, but the fight will be the where to go because
Yeah.
everyone's having lots of ideas. But I love the idea of fun fight. So and then you're always, I mentioned this before, like a keep it simple, doing that with that real authentic way of doing it. So thank you so much, Priya, and I'm so happy to partner with you, and then, being part of your organization, and then, spreading love, joy, and peace. And to my listeners, if you are not connected with the Women's Sphere and Aura, I would recommend highly. And if you are a first home buyer, Priya is the right person to go. And I love that way that you mentioned, yes, behind the scene, woman has the power to decide. So if you want a better kitchen, and a good home with your own mindset, that's the right person is Priya. And at the same time, so I would really and reaffirm again this year from the Women's Sphere in session that we had, we are helping different people because they know that we are helping, and they're coming to us, and then we are referring to the right people. So as Priya mentioned, we are not solving the whole problem, but we are trying to refer to the right hands so that everyone will have that peace, joy, and love in their life. So I know, Priya, you must have had like, great Mother's Day with your girls and your mother. But I wish you all the very, best motherhood in your life. All our prayers with you and your family and what you're doing with love. So wish you all the good blessings for your initiative and supporting the community. And thank you so much for your time with us on this series, Mothers in May. Thank you, Priya.
Thank you. Thank you so much for this opportunity. I'm grateful. And yes, if any woman listening to our conversation, if she can pick up one thing, that's it. So we did our part, and let the woman to decide what they are doing, how they can do better, whatever already they're doing. Thank you for this opportunity, and yeah, looking forward to see more women coming together and doing meaningful projects similar to what we are doing.
That's great. I love your wisdom there. Yes, this is the seed is there. It's your call whether it should be a small bush or a big tree or with the fruit. So over to you, my listeners, and enjoy this conversation. And if you want to know more about Priya, her links will be on the description. And I mentioned in my last videos as a gift to you, listeners, listening and seeing us on this series. I am providing some exciting surprises for you for a concert coming up with Stephen Devassy in July. I am giving a draw and then giving them platinum tickets free. So if you see the questions and if you can text me with the answers, and if you are a lucky winner, you will be sitting in the first row of this concert happening in July. So I invite everyone to Put your hands together for our wonderful guest, Priyanka. And then I will be coming back with another wonderful woman the other day. Thank you so much.
Thank you.